Is your home safe? What about your small business? Is it safe and secure when you lock up at night? Hey, welcome to the You Ask the Pros Answer podcast. Your questions answered by the pros you trust. My name is Cole, and I am the host on the show, and I am excited because today I get to share with you the second half of the conversation that I started last week with Darrin Moore and Chris Maddox of SafeHouse. SafeHouse is a security company located right here in the Delmarva area, and I am thrilled to have them back on the show. Darrin, Chris, welcome back. This is the You Ask the Pros Answer podcast. Do you have questions about an upcoming exterior contracting project? We've got answers. Welcome to the You Ask the Pros Answer podcast. I like gadgets. I like technology. My wife, if she was here, would second that. So I'm wondering if we could nerd out for a second. We've talked a lot on this show about how STEM, so science, technology, engineering, mathematics, is becoming more and more a part of our trade of contracting, that gone are the days of like the one guy in the white pickup truck with his tool belt. Like, it's become more of a professional, respected trade. I'm wondering if we could talk a little bit about the technology. I want to ask you guys a fun question, and I didn't prepare you for this. So if you have no answer, make one up. Out of your current arsenal of products that are available to you, or maybe you've seen something that just came on the market, what is the coolest or your favorite piece of technology that is part of the security world right now? Anything fun?
Let me think.
Do you have an idea? I have two.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
So for me, and this comes from my experiences as more on the customer side, or things that I've run into that I was like, oh man, I wish I had that. So one, personally, a couple years ago, I had a flooding issue in my house. And we have a device that we can connect to security systems. For this is more of the home management side, the alerts that you get. We have something called a water detector that you can place it in certain places around your water heater, your sump pump, your well, whatever. And if the water hits that sensor, it's going to give you an alert, so you can check on it, make sure there's not an issue, make sure there's not really a flood going on, or it'll let you know that, hey, we have a flood situation. I need to turn off my water so I don't have a lot of damage. The second is when I used to work in restaurant management, we were always fighting this device or that device to help monitor our freezers. Our cold storage was always a concern, because you have a lot of product you spend a lot of money on in cold storage, and if you have a power loss, or the device or the system that runs those cold storage units goes down, you can lose a lot of product very quickly. And so I recall having a lot of, desire for, hey, I want to be able to look on my system and know what those cold storage boxes are running at, and make sure they're operating correctly when I'm not there, and making sure that the product we have in those boxes is good. So those two things are really helpful, I think. And we have the ability to do both. We can do water detection on your system. We can also do temperature detection and monitoring on your system as well. And so those things from a customer perspective, I'm like, those are really neat features that we can add to a system. If the customer desires that. I think that technology is wonderful.
So both of those are very cool, very practical. But Darrin, can you beat it for something? Like, I'm looking for like something cool. Okay, just in fairness, Chris, very, very practical products, very useful. But I'm like, I want a robot or something.
Oh, you're hitting hard there. Robot. I don't know if I can give you a robot.
Whatever comes to mind.
So I think, and it's been out for a while, but I think the notification process that the alarm systems do is just neat. And then the AI that's built into camera systems is getting better and better and better. So when they came out with camera systems and they started improving the visual components, the optics, the clarity, you remember the old video that they used to show that was grainy, and and people used to make fun of it, like you'll never catch anybody with that video.
Yeah.
So they improved that dramatically. So the only thing to really go after at that point was analytics and putting programs into the camera, into the MVR, and making sure that now you can get a notification if a human is detected. So if I get a package dropped off on my breezeway, I get a notification that, somebody's there. I can take a look at it and see the footage and see that, FedEx just left me a package. If my daughter's home and she opens up a back door and the alarm is not armed, I've got it set to send me a notification, because I want to know if the door opens up, even if the alarm's not on.
Mm-hmm.
So those types of things are amazing. Some of the AI features that have come into camera systems, there's even a system out now, and we're doing some research on it, but without getting too deep in the weeds, they have systems that will detect gunfire. So they can, if they hear or if they see what looks like a person carrying a gun, it can set off a trigger to notify somebody that this person appears to be armed. There's a lot that goes into that type of thing. And there's also some liability that goes into that. So, there are things that we've looked at, but there are systems that if a person is shoplifting, the certain characteristics that they do when they're shoplifting, or if they put something in their coat, the AI in the camera will notify them that whoever's watching that, hey, customer in aisle 6 just put something in their coat. So I think that those types of analytics and the behind the scenes programming is going to be endless at some point. And it's constantly improving. There are systems in place where if you have an elderly person, maybe with health problems, they can wear a device so that if they fall, that gets monitored, and they know that it's fallen, and they've called in somebody, and those types of things. The technology, the AI is just not going to stop. We constantly get trained on that. I think here in the near future, we have someone coming from Texas, one of our reps, but we're always getting new training, certification to keep up with things. So I hope that was a little bit more neat on target for you, but it's nothing exciting. No robots or paintball shooting cameras yet, like I've seen on some social media.
You win that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess gone are the days where like you just have sensors that it could be nothing, it could be something, and there's all this ambiguity, and all that ambiguity increases response time, right? And so now you've got, I'm sure loss prevention at retail places are loving this because they're able to detect things before it even happens. I can recall my dad was a manager at Kmart. Chris, are you old enough to remember Kmart?
Oh yeah, I remember Kmart.
And he would tell me stories of how people would shoplift, and he and his coworkers would sprint across the parking lot into the apartment complex across the street. That was before the days where they told employees, like, just let it go. It might be why Kmart's no longer around, actually. But anyway, yeah, as you were talking about all the AI stuff, I mean, we use it at Pro Exteriors, but it's largely just to be more efficient. And the stuff you were describing, that scratched the technology itch for me.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, as a guy who has been the victim of flooding and lost many expensive guitars and instruments,
oh yeah,
I appreciate the practicality of the moisture sensors as well. Yeah. So, all right. So I love talking about technology and all the gadgets, but I also know that if somebody's house isn't structurally sound to begin with, then all the systems in the world aren't really going to keep you safe. So I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about how exterior features like doors, windows, and even lighting plays into a customer's or a home's overall security. Is that something you guys discuss with the customers that you serve?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we take that into consideration with every house, especially new homes. It's interesting. and it depends on where you're at with windows. Most of your window companies will void the window if you penetrate the frame, if you drill in the frame. So if you want a hardwired system and you want all your windows hardwired, you have to check with your window company to make sure that the warranty is not going to be void. And really, we don't like to do that anymore. There's too many other options, too many ways to do it. It's different with doors and other hardwired devices, but making sure that the customers come to us with all different types of windows, all different types of doors, and keeping in mind that they have a black window, they want black sensors, that type of thing. You want the windows to be secure, something that's gonna lock, and it's gonna be hard to access in the first place. Same thing with the doors. So yeah, those are things that we talk about all the time with every customer, and we talk about if the window is stationary or if it's a double hung or if it's a crank out window. When we get into attic access, there's not much we talk about as far as the roof goes or the siding, but they are interested as to getting under the house, and we have devices that go in attics and that type of thing. And I guess depending on if your roof is vented, is how hot does it get up there? Do you need some type of temperature sensor or a heat detector? But yeah, no, absolutely. The products that go into building the house are a topic on, existing and new builds constantly. We talk to contractors and work with contractors as we're putting systems in.
So I know I don't have the statistics in front of me, but I would imagine that, and it's not pleasant to talk about home invasions, but where else are we going to do it but on an episode like this? Thinking about the front doors of homes and back patio doors, sliding doors, I've seen videos where it is scary how easy it is to get past like a single lock. So my front door has one deadbolt. It's connected to a digital keypad, which is convenient. What are some of the tips that you guys might have or suggestions for front door security and then sliding glass doors? Like I have one lock on that sliding glass door that flips down, and I'm pretty sure my 13-year-old boy could probably open it if he got locked out one day. Are there any solutions for that?
It's probably going to surprise you. I mean, sliding glass doors, there's only so much you can do, because I think typically they're going to try to break the glass. So that's where you want to make sure that your alarm systems are going to, work for you if somebody gains access.
Okay. If
they break the glass and they don't reach in and open the door, but they rather walk through the broken glass, or it's big enough that nobody's going to get hurt. There are simple things out there. There's a bar that you can buy that goes in the track that keeps the door from sliding open.
Okay.
There are very simple and inexpensive things you can do for front doors, any door of the house that will help provide extra security. Looking at how secure the door is, the front door, how strong is it, what's it made of, and like you said, do you have one lock or two? Do you want an electric lock on it? What are my options to have that keypad lock? But maybe I want something extra at night for when we're home. Right. I want to have that option to set another lock on the door. So those are questions we look at. But I think simple gadgets, and I hate to say that, but there's some simple options out there that you can add to both sliding doors and front doors that will help you feel secure. That's going to work for you. But most important, if they gain access, if they penetrate those doors and those entry points, make sure that your alarm system's gonna function like it's supposed to. All
right, guys, I want to read a letter that was sent to SafeHouse, sent from the Preston Volunteer Fire Company. They said this: as a volunteer fire company, the safety and security of our personnel, equipment, and facility is our top priority. We rely heavily on SafeHouse for both our security cameras and access control systems, and we couldn't be more pleased with the results. The installation of SafeHouse cameras has given us real-time monitoring, providing peace of mind knowing that our station is watched 24/7. The system's remote access allows us to monitor events even when we're out of the station. The access control features have also proven invaluable. With many volunteers coming and going at all hours, the ability to control access to restricted areas is crucial. SafeHouse's system has made it easy to manage who enters and exits the building at our fingertips 24/7. Overall, SafeHouse has proven to be a reliable partner, helping us keep our firehouse secure. While entering, we can focus on what matters most, serving our community. We highly recommend SafeHouse for any organization in need of reliable, efficient security solutions. Preston Volunteer Fire Company. So I read that partly because just want to give you guys some props. I know you guys are in an industry that I would imagine it's easy to only get feedback when things go wrong, as opposed to just hearing what goes right. And here you guys are protecting an organization that exists to protect our community, which is just awesome. So I want to transition us a little bit away from the residents for a moment, because you guys, you've alluded to it already, but you don't just focus on homes. And I know some of our audience are going to be business owners, they're patrons, you know, they might have commercial properties. What are some of the other areas that you guys focus on?
We do a lot of commercial business, small, medium, large. We do a lot of industry. So a lot of the industrial facilities, we can do large scale projects, heavy industrial. Really enjoy giving back and working with local communities, towns, police departments. We do a lot for townships and public works and fire departments, putting together systems to keep them safe and secure, and systems to keep the community and the residents of that area safe and secure. So we do a lot of that. It's really unique. I enjoy doing it. There come challenges with that, and it's time consuming and often takes a lot of time to build those systems and that relationship. But yeah, I think that's probably one of the things I enjoy doing most, is working with towns, communities, giving back to those fire departments. And I say giving back, we try to keep everything as tight as possible and give, cost savings where we can. It can be very expensive, especially when you're doing a whole town, but that's part of, at the end of the day, when you've got a system to keep everybody secure and you use that. We've testified in court on video. So we do a little bit of everything, working with small business is great because we're a small business. So I love going into small business and seeing how we can help them, knowing what our own needs are.
Yeah, I heard Kara, who's behind the cameras right now, let me know that when you guys got here, Chris gave you, Darrin, a tour of our shop and office. And I guarantee, I'm not going to ask you now, but I guarantee you guys have some thoughts on our current security. So I'd be interested to hear about that later. I read on your website, and I'm a curious person, so I want to ask this. It says you also provide services for the agricultural industry as well. And that's big in Sussex County and the Eastern Shore of Maryland. And I also know that those tractors are crazy expensive. But what are some of the applications that you guys handle there?
Love the farming community. Let me say that first and foremost. It's huge around here.
Yeah.
And putting together a system to watch over a farm, it means a lot at the end of the day. We can watch lanes, back roads and lanes. We have a device that, you can connect to any normally open, normally closed mechanical device, and it will send you a signal. You can put it on a gate anywhere remotely. There's no electric, there's no phone line. If that gate opens up, it will let you know that the gate is open. There's so many useful tools that we can use remotely and rurally. We work with other companies, and if you don't have something you need, like if you need internet because you want to look at this remotely, we have options we can send you to other people. Having eyes and cameras that watch the lanes that come into vast properties, and you can't watch them all. You can't be everywhere. Yeah. So setting that up and setting up, simple, basic alarms, nothing over the top. You just want to know if somebody goes into your office on the farm, or if somebody goes into the scale office or the feed mills area, anything like that is all monitored. So that comes back to where it's a useful tool to manage your operation as well as security. And we've had video, we've recovered video, we've recovered, the police have recovered stolen items from farms. And because of the video, because of alarm systems, I love doing work on farms. We've even been asked to put cameras on top of grain towers, and you name it. As difficult as it can be, we've been asked to do it. We can't always meet those goals, but we can do just about anything. And I love, like I said it, I can't say it enough. The farming, the agriculture community has been great to us.
That you just shared a lot of stuff that I would not have even thought of. We're going to begin to wrap things up. Bring it back to the homeowners that are watching or listening. Wondering if you could share just a couple of pieces of advice to the homeowner that's concerned about security. I'll make it really personal real quick. So I love my family. On earth, they are the most important people in my life. And yet, as we've been having this conversation, I've been thinking, we have one video doorbell by a company that I guarantee you could name very quickly. Half the time the battery's dead in it because I forget to change it. That is our only piece of security. I'm wondering if you could share just a couple pieces of advice for somebody like me who I'm a worrier. Like, I genuinely think about my family's safety every single day, and yet I do very little about it. So what are some words of advice for somebody like me?
I'm just going to say one thing, and then I'll let Chris talk. I would say to call a professional, to at least check with one or two security companies to get their take on where you're vulnerable, what you might need, and to give you ideas of what's out there. Of course, scrolling and looking and talking to friends and neighbors and seeing what they use, I recommend that as well, because somebody may say, hey, this is what we've got, and it works great for us. But getting a professional to look at it and to give you the overall picture, to tell you what things cost and how to fix it, what happens if it doesn't work, ask lots of questions and let them know that you're inquiring. You're building a list of things you may or may not need, and start there, before you make any decisions to do anything.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that people maybe are concerned about with a security system or a camera system, and Darrin mentioned this earlier, but it doesn't have to be some huge elaborate system right off the bat. Some of the out of the box DIY stuff starts to seem that way, right? Like, I'm going to buy this 1 or 2 device thing or this 8 device thing, and I don't know what I really need. I think a lot of people would be surprised with how minimalistic some of the systems can be to meet the needs of what they're looking for. It doesn't have to be some scary, big thing, depending on what your needs are. And I think that goes back to getting somebody to come and look at your home, to look at your property, to make some suggestions, to do a good evaluation. And also evaluating what are your goals and what system and devices and technology is going to meet your goals, as well as what's going to make me feel secure in my own home. When I go to sleep at night, I want to know I have peace of mind about what's happening on my property and around my home. I want to know my kids and my wife are safe. I want to know that I can put my head on my pillow and not worry throughout the night that somebody's going to make me unsafe. And so I think whatever we can do to help meet that need or that goal with technology and a system, or even just suggestions, right? Like there's things people can do to make their home more safe. Whether it needs a security system, all the devices and whatnot. That's up to what their goals are. And one of the things Darrin and I try to tell our customers is we're not pushy with, hey, this is what you need because that's what we, want to just get installed in your home. We really do want to serve our customers with just giving them what they feel like they need with our recommendations. Of course, there's things people may not think about, but we're not trying to get people to buy something they don't need either.
Yeah. Well, yeah, thank you both for that, because option paralysis is a very real thing. You can go to ChatGPT or Google's Gemini and put in, all the prompts in the world, like build me a home security system. But at the end of the day, then it takes you to link after link. And it's like, I don't know. I'm at a loss for what to do.
Right.
For folks like me who are truly caring about their family's safety and yet haven't known where to go to get help, what is the best way to reach you guys and the SafeHouse team?
So please check out our website. That is thinksafehouse.com. thinksafehouse.com. Our office is 410-673-1759. Call me anytime. Call or text me direct at 410-829-9196 anytime. If I miss your call, I will call you back.
Yeah, and if you're in the Sussex County beach area, give me a call, 443-205-5625. I have I'm pretty much completely tied to my phone. So if I miss you, I'll call you back quick.
We'd be happy to help you. Absolutely. Yeah. And all estimates, site visits, all that stuff is free.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Darrin and Chris, thank you so much for your time. I know your time is valuable. It's the one thing in life you can't buy more of. So I appreciate your time. Thank you for being the pros on this episode too. Yeah.
We appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Darrin and Chris, thank you again so much for your time and for your expertise and for sharing what you know about this incredibly important topic. Hey, for everybody watching, would you please continue to help us get the word out about the show? The best way to do that is to leave reviews on Apple Podcasts, follow us on social media, or simply tell a friend. Also, if you are watching on YouTube, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Before we go, we want to hear from you. What are some of the questions you have related to exterior home remodeling? The process involved, maybe the options that are out there. You can send your questions to info@askproexteriors.com and place "You Ask" in the subject. If you are facing an upcoming home project, we hope this episode has empowered you to tackle it with confidence. Remember, knowledge is power, and a little bit of research can go a long way. Until next time, happy homeowning. The You Ask, the Pros Answer podcast is produced in-house by the Pro Exteriors team. Pro Exteriors is the exterior contracting division of Empire Construction Group, LLC. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal advice. For more answers to your questions, please subscribe to this channel and podcast so you'll never miss an episode. Do you have an upcoming home remodeling project? Find more answers to your questions at askproexteriors.com. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Would you please help us out by hitting that subscribe button? That would be awesome. Also, if you never want to miss another one of our uploads, please be sure to hit that notification bell. All right, thanks. See you.